All right, so we're at the boat show, and we're sitting here talking to
Jeff Kishore.
and Jeff is going to be featured on the
It's the Shooting Debris Sailing Podcast by yours truly, Jeffrey Wetter.
yeah my
at
twin
escapepods.com.
my twin brother from another mother again. So we're just having this impromptu conversation about sailing from Cape May up to Maine.
Yeah, we went from the Chesapeake up to Maine and then back down.
Okay.
Yep. And I was saying that a buddy of mine and I went straight up from Cape May to Block and had a nice sail, and then the wind shut down at dusk and motored through the night, and then we had some wind on the nose into Block the next day. And then my wife and I hopped up, mostly coastal stuff, up to Maine and had a great summer up there. It's a pretty amazing place. And then I've been bringing it back for the last couple of weeks and got hung up in Long Island Sound for 2 weeks during the two storms, when Jose and Maria were passing by. And then because of that, I ended up coming down through New York City and then just hopping down the Jersey coast. And I had a pretty good trip. I sailed the whole overnight of that trip. It was really nice breeze. It's right on just after the starboard quarter. I mean, the starboard beam. And so perfect.
You do it by yourself?
Yes, it's by myself. Yeah.
Do you have a wind vane?
We don't have a wind vane. We have an autopilot, and actually on the way down the coast, right after sunset, the autopilot broke.
Oh, did it?
Of course it did.
Yeah.
When's it gonna break?
Yeah, exactly.
As soon as you need it.
Yeah.
So I was hand steering to Cape May, and then I ordered a new one, a new unit in Cape May.
So okay. So did it arrive?
Yeah, after a little bit of UPS screw up, it got there. Defender ships, as you probably know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like one day certainly to Jersey and northern parts of Maryland.
Right.
So it got there in 2 days, unfortunately.
Okay. So tell me, what's the most harrowing offshore venture you had?
Well, last year, the most harrowing was, nothing on my boat. I crewed down to on the Caribbean 1500 last year.
Did you?
Yeah.
On what kind of boat?
I was Island Packet 42.
Okay, that's a nice boat.
Yeah, it is a very nice boat.
Yeah.
Very nice boat, and I had great people with me. And we just, we had some rough weather out there and broke a lot of gear.
Did you?
Yep.
What year was the boat?
It was pretty new. I don't really know what it was.
That's probably why it broke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that was a big shakedown, cruise for them. They figured out, what worked, what didn't, what they needed, and what they didn't. And so it was good times, but gave me a lot of confidence.
Was it a lot of wind, or was it the waves, or was it kind of all of them, all the above?
It was a little bit of both. We had a whole day. It seemed like it was just sitting at 38 knots, and there were some pretty good seas there too.
Right.
And that was one of maybe 3 or 4, heavier wind days. The other days were, upper 20s and into the 30s and stuff. But that was the most that we saw.
So the 1500 goes from where to where?
From Norfolk to Nanny Key down in Tortola. Yep.
So then that was forward of the beam.
So yeah, we were. Well, it was a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? That whole time we were trying to make easting. Obviously at the beginning before we got into the trades, and so that a lot of times meant that it was forward of the beam. I actually think that during the worst of it, we were pretty much going downwind, and I think that's why we had to do so much easting later too. Was because maybe we were headed more south just to ride out that storm.
Right.
Cool.
And tell them about your YouTube channel, because I don't think we mentioned it.
We have Return to Seasons sailing on YouTube, and then we have returntoseasons.com for the blog. Yep.
I'm sure I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Have I ever commented? I pride myself on subscribing to every sailing channel.
Yeah. I don't know.
Return to Seasons.
And what's your boat?
Tiana 37.
Okay, I'm probably sure I've seen that channel before.
I've seen it. I've shared.
Is there a pretty girl on board?
My wife is pretty.
And I'm pretty sure I've seen it. Yeah. That's interesting.
Every now and then there's some drinking involved at bars.
Definitely.
Wow, that's crazy.
I don't include that at all, but that is always there.
Yeah, right.
So what's life back in Illinois like?
My wife is a photography professor at Bradley University.
Okay.
And so that's what ties us down. I teach online and do a little bit of web development.
Okay.
And I would like to transition to the boat full time, but I don't make those decisions.
Yeah.
But if she gets a couple months off a year,
a couple months for the summer.
fills the void.
Yeah, and next year she'll have sabbatical. So
Any kids?
No kids.
Any kids in the future?
now.
Okay. Well, then no excuse.
Yeah.
So next year you're planning on.
I'm going to the Caribbean.
So you're gonna go north again. First.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go up to Maine again.
So basically, leaving the Chesapeake when?
Hopefully around the middle of May or so.
Okay.
Yep.
Up to Maine till August.
Yeah, that would probably. I think we got to start looking to. You know, I mean, this experience of how long it took me to get down here has made me realize we got to start looking. You know, sort of mid to late August to start working our way down.
Because you don't need to be here necessarily until November unless you want to come to Boat Show again. Next
Yeah,
year.
well, I think we will. It's been a really great weekend, especially out there in the morning field. You can't beat that.
Right? Yeah, definitely.
Did you hear a bunch of parties going on out there?
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, nobody invited me.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite sailing stories. Is just there's a river, the South River. I don't know if it was South River.
Oh yeah, just South River.
Yeah, you know, chartering a boat out of the South River, sailing up here, anchoring out there.
Yep.
Right.
Taking a taxi here,
Water taxi,
getting drunk, water taxi back to the boat,
right.
and slowly meandering back around, around the corner.
Right.
So a lot of good times to be had, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, what about you, man? What are you here for?
What am I here for?
Yeah, you were on the ML 55.
I went on the 55, man, and
Did you take some video of that?
I took video of that, and I'm definitely, how do I say, convinced that I'm doing the right thing because even a $1.5 million boat is still
not big enough.
Turn around. I mean, it's big enough, but it's
plenty big. It's not designed.
They make the bulkheads for a certain size. I mean, there's plenty of room above the door. They could just cut a bigger hole. But you know, so
plus you need to make everything come out accessible.
Plus, I'll save about $1 million.
Hopefully more.
Yeah, hopefully more. We'll see. Got the college tuition to pay.
Well, that's true.
But yeah, so here from the Boat Show, video number 3, again with Jeff Weddick and Jeff
Kashork.
And give me the YouTube channel again.
Return to Seasons.
Return to Seasons.
Yep.
All right.